Life in the Lost Villages is an oral history project by the Scottish Oral History Centre at the University of Strathclyde, led by the researchers Professor Arthur McIver and Dr Yvonne McFadden. The project looked to recover the history of East Ayrshire's lost villages by collecting the stories of the families who lived in the miners' rows in the villages of Benwhat, Common Dyke, Burnfoot Hill, Glenbuck, Lethen Hill and Darnconnor.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Colin MacDonald. I'm the project supervisor for the Coalfield Communities Landscape Partnership, of which the Lost Villages Oral History Project is one of 22 different projects. And tonight, or this evening, is really our third celebration event for this project. And some of you might have been lucky enough to be at all three, which have been very nice. So we obviously had an end of project event last year in Dunmellington. We had our exhibition launch in Cumnock earlier this year, and the exhibition is still on at the Baird until the 4th of May. So if you haven't seen it yet, please do go and see it. And then tonight, we're very privileged to have our book launch and an overall celebration of this excellent project, and very much thankful to people that took part, interviews and gave material, and also to the project partners. So without more to say, I'll just introduce you to Arthur and Yvonne, who worked with the University of Strathclyde, who did the project, and they'll talk about the project, and then we'll have Sean do some singing, and Rab at the end do his poetry. So without much further ado, I'll hand over to Arthur. Thank you, and enjoy the evening.
Hello there, my name's Arthur McIver. I'm the co-director of the Scottish Oral History Centre. We're here at the Boswell Centre in Auchinleck, and we're celebrating the end of this project, The Lost Villages, and the launch of our project book, Memory, Mining and Heritage, Voices from Ayrshire Communities. The book celebrates the history of these places and is mainly constructed through oral testimonies and personal stories. Anyway, we really hope you enjoy the book and enjoy the evening.
So with the book launch, sometimes people read from their book, but our book is just full of people's stories. So what I've done is I've curated I don't know. I don't want to say my favourite because there were so many. I spent most of the afternoon just cutting clips and then thinking, I've not got time to play all these. But I'm just going to play some of the kind of clips that kind of sum up some of the themes of the book and let the kind of oral history speak for itself, and I'll just kind of guide you through it. What emerged quite late on in the project, which we always had our eye on, was open cast mining. Towards the end of the project, we talked to quite a lot of open cast miners and got some of their stories. So that was an inclusion then. And the last thing, which is probably my favourite chapter, is about just the ways in which people keep these memories alive and the ways in which place has become so important to people and all the different things that they do to keep it alive. So that's my favourite chapter of the book. Lock-ins. And he tells this quite interesting story about how basically at the end they would say, who wants to stay? And then they would lock the door. But he says that quite a few people have said this about the mining villages, that it wasn't about drinking, which we heard at Lethen Hill as well. There was a beer store. Drinking wasn't maybe as part of the culture as you would think. And it was like lemonade. And it was soft drinks. And he would say the hard stuff the drinking would be done outside before you went in. And this is Nan Old. So she grew up in Lethen Hill, and then she eventually moved to the Rose at Lower Penavini as well. So this is remembering the past, and this is the ways in which people have commemorated the past. And I want to highlight the Glenbuck Heritage Centre, which Sam, who's here, and Barbara as well, who's over there. Sam and Barbara have worked really hard to kind of keep the memories of Glenbuck alive. I mean, there's been connection with Bill Shankly, who I hear is apparently some sort of famous footballer or something. But there's that connection there, which I think has helped. But it's brought in, and Barbara talks about visiting in 1997 and just feeling like there's nothing there. And Sam talks about going back and feeling kind of, sad because it's like, and same Stuart Burns. And it took them, as you can see, from 1997 to 2019 before they managed to get the money together. And they now have the Glenbuck site that you can go visit now. And it's the people and community action and grassroots action that's keeping the mining heritage and the mining stories alive in the community. And obviously we're just very lucky and feel privileged to have come in and recorded some of these stories and been part of that process.
So, The Lost Villages for Professor Arthur McIver and Dr. Yvonne McFadden. They live only in fading memories now. These places, Common Dyke and Burnfoot Hill. But what? Glenbuck, Duncona, Lethenhill, entombed by open cast, turned by the plough. And yet, their stories have been teased and told. The Iron Range relit and brightly glowing. The steaming washtub, gossipy and knowing. Treasured memoirs worth their weight in gold. School days, Sam Purdy vividly regales. Here's the manager of the co-op store. The football Shantleys gathered round their door. Bill's niece, Barbara, relates with pride their tales. This archive, vital, prescient and profound, the living proof of what was lost, now found. Thank you.
Here on the plaster house smooth and warm. What for the men's might the iron stain. Now what I knew then they might part home. And seen to the heads and slides of my choo. And the beard lad goes miles to find the grunt. Strange promontories grasped into the as nature slowly heals back what's money.
So hi, my name's Yvonne McFadden and I am the project researcher on the Lost Villages of East Ayrshire, and we're here today at the Boswell Centre in Auchinleck to celebrate the launch of the project book, Mining, Memory and Heritage, which was written by myself and Professor Arthur McIver. We've had a really great turnout tonight. We're really grateful to everyone that's came along. A lot of folk have come along that were involved in the project, so it's really wonderful to see them here and to be able to thank them in person for all their hard work and sharing their stories with us, because really the project couldn't have happened without them. We also thank our partners at CCLP for all their support and being absolutely a joy and wonderful to work with. We've had a wonderful time working with them, and also to the East Ayrshire Council and the councillors for coming along to support the event and to support the project. So we're very sad that the project's come to an end, but we're very happy with what we've achieved in the project, and we'll be launching our archive and website of the project soon. So thanks very much everyone for coming along.
Hi, my name is Colin MacDonald. I'm the project supervisor for the Coalfield Communities Landscape Partnership, and we're here this evening to celebrate the launch of our book for the Lost Villages project, and we've had a great evening of entertainment and speeches. And if you're interested in getting the book, please do get in touch with us. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Claire Leach. I'm the Deputy Provost of East Ayrshire here at the Boswell Centre in Auchinleck for the launch of the Lost Villages book with the CCLP. I've been a really good firm supporter of the project from the very inception. It means a great deal to the people, the families of the communities affected, and the people living in their communities now. It's been absolutely great to see the likes of Rob Wilson here, Sean and guitar. The arts is a good way to reach people, but the spoken word and music coming together has been absolutely brilliant, and I think there's just something to reach absolutely everybody here today. So I've had a great time, and thank you all.
Hi, I'm Dane Love from Cairn Publishing, and it was a great honour to do this book along with Yvonne and Arthur. I thoroughly enjoyed reading it in the first place and putting it together and finding out all about the mining communities and the history and heritage round about Ayrshire, of which I'm a great lover anyway.